Hello, my name is Walter Isaguirre, and I'm doing a video reflection on the Secrets of Body Language documentary on YouTube. So one of the first things that I learned is how much of a huge deal body language actually is. I had no idea that it is such a big deal in our lives. First of all, I didn't know that 93% of our all of our communication is nonverbal, which means that the 7% of what we actually say, speak, or what comes out of our mouths, only 7% of that actually matters, which is basically nothing. So basically, we could be saying anything to any person, and as long as we have amazing body language, we can get them to agree or comply with anything that we say, and that to me is like mind blowing. Um, I didn't know that body language was that important. So basically, if you have good posture, your tone of voice, facial expressions, all of this is 93% of what people actually look for when having a conversation or interacting with other people. And I never looked at it that way. I always thought, yeah, the way you talk, body movement and stuff like that, like when people are doing a speech, moving the hands. I thought that stuff was important, but I didn't know people look at the way you sit, if you're slouching, or facial expressions, like if you're just frowning, or I just thought, and I thought that what you say actually had a more of an impact on a person's perspective of you. Body language can change anyone's perspective of what they think about you. Um, Police officers are trained to to tune out their body language receptors, I guess you could say. They receive training, qualified training, to avoid um, violent situations or people who are just dishonest, because everyone wants to lie to the cops for some reason. Um, but cops are trained for that. Um, what else? Politicians are coached to have awesome body language. Presidents, people of high power, um, they will all be coached to have awesome body language, because that's what convinces people to agree with their side or just comply with whatever they're saying. Convince you to, we agree. So it's crazy. You can tell from a person's body language if they're nervous, hands in their pockets, or the little fidgety that Richard Nixon, I think it was, who he was doing. And the same applies to Richard Nixon, who is a politician, great person in power, to a salesman selling a car. He'll do the same thing when he's nervous, and he'll just start fidgeting and won't have proper eye contact with the person. And all of this is factors that affect people and their decision on what they want from you. You know what I mean? A salesperson, they conducted in the Secrets of Body Language, they conducted a little experiment with two different salesmen, and they asked the two ladies who were recording the salesman which they would rather to, and they chose the person who had a great smile, always had eye contact with them, made sure that he didn't show he was more power than the other person, than the people who he's trying to sell to. A genuine feeling to them. In regards to the other salesperson, who was very fidgety, didn't make proper eye contact, they just felt that they weren't having a genuine conversation with them. So all of these things are factors that I didn't take into consideration, and for me, I want to improve on not just making sure to say what I have to say correctly, but make sure that my body language is also saying what I want to say correctly. I want to make it all in sync, if that makes sense. So if I want to be genuinely honest in everything, I want to look person in the eyes. I want to make sure I'm pointing, if I'm pointing, to point directly at them, not point to the side. I want to make sure that my body language is all in sync with what I'm actually saying. So that's what I would like to improve on. Anyways, thank you. My name is Walter from Mohawk College, and this is my reflection.